Good morning, and welcome back to the Gribley's Folly channel, where I have new background noise because my son is home. So I think that's sleigh bells and like a washboard that he's rattling back there. Anyway, sabbatical video's gonna be a minute. It looks as though I have a family member on death's door, and we'll have to see how that situation unfolds. I did want to make a quick video responding to your comment. Should we turn this on? My fly tying light? Yeah, I like it off. I did want to make a quick video responding to your comments because I never do that. I am a terrible comment responder to her, and I thought that before I jumped into the editing on these sabbatical videos that I would just get on here and actually talk to you guys for a second. So, on the fly tying ramble about mass shootings and the individual responsibility to respond, John Burridge says you might get mistaken by a shooter, for a shooter, by the time both you and the authorities respond. That is very true. That is something to be concerned about. I definitely want to respond to this one. John-Waxeroni says, and I know that I've read this comment several times now, and I know that this was meant in good faith. I can tell it's a fun comment. You are now going shopping, but you have no money. You are of the prepper mentality, yet you fire your guns twice a year. You don't own a sleeping bag that is worthy or lack the experience to use items around. Even if you had non-fire warmth, you decide not to sit in the woods in the dark, listening to nature's music. You smoke a pipe, yet you choose mostly to burn brick and mortar tobaccos instead of spending a couple more bucks on a fine blend. And then he goes on to say nice things. He's just kind of curious about why. All fair. So, Mr. Waxeroni, here's let me just address some of your questions. It's not that I have no money. It's that I had no money for a sleeping bag. I have a budget of expendable money, and I'm well able to afford a $5 pack of cheap hooks to keep me fly tying, but I am not able to afford a $8,500 sleeping bag out of the blue, just sort of on a lark. And it's the end of the month, and yeah, I pay myself monthly. I'm self-employed. Anyway, yeah, I have some money, but I'm a budget guy. Things are budgeted for, and a sleeping bag was not in the budget. You are of the prepper mentality, yet you fire your guns twice a year. This is a good one. Yes, I only fire my guns like twice a year. But I rotate inventory and restock my supplies once a month. How often do you restock your supplies, sir? I think that there's in the prepper community, I would not consider myself a prepper. Of the prepper mentality is a good way of saying it. But I think that there's such an over focus on guns. And by the way, even though I only shoot mine twice a year, I can hit a water bottle with my 10-22 at 50 yards. Hang on, that was a big bang. Anyway, I'm a good shot. Not as good as I used to be because I don't practice as much. But what's your next comment? I did decide not to sit in the woods in the dark listening to nature's music because I have an anxiety disorder. Nature's music to me, it doesn't really sound that lovely. It's more like large animals breathing. That's what I hear when I listen to nature's music. Smoke a pipe, but choose to burn brick and mortar tobaccos instead of spending the money for a fine tin. Tobacco pipe video, inventory video coming up. But just sitting on my desk here, this is a tin of tobacco, but once had tobacco in it. We got some Jubilee. We got some Old Dark Fired. I do have my Captain Black sitting right here because I've been smoking it lately, but you'll see. Next, Happy-Go-Lucky Piper says, looking forward to see how you get on with your challenges. Yeah, me too. John Galdieri. Wasn't that a name from The Sopranos? Galtieri was that was Paulie, right? So John, are you related to Paulie? Always thought Minecraft was a child's game, but realize now that it is more involved. Yes, Minecraft. I haven't really formed these thoughts yet enough to talk about it, but Minecraft raises existential questions for humanity. Let's move on. Looking forward to later videos. Thank you. Brian Field says, if you ever drop head cement in your coffee, don't drink it. It's horrible. Thank you for that advice, Brian. I was giving Brian a hard time on Facebook the other day. He was asking me how I was doing at gathering fly tying materials, which was his challenge for me. You have the gift of storytelling. Thank you so much. That is a huge compliment from Farmer Brad 06. And then John Gallieri says methadone clinic was closed for Black Friday, so I smoked a bowl of Bengal slices. Thanks, Paulie's brother. I appreciate that. Cobbett of the Shire says that my Thanksgiving story revived his memories of some childhood near extinction events. David 35445 says he burned his childhood fort to the ground. Whose idea was it to give a 10-year-old a barrel stove? It's funny to look back on childhood. Yeah, so basically everybody that commented on that childhood video says, that they almost killed themselves as a child too. I think we're seeing some interesting patterns emerging among pipe smokers. Mr. Tant says, if you get cold, just do more Pop-Tart stuff. I'm not sure what that means, Mr. Tant, but I'm going to pretend it's a slight. Okay, Pop-Tarts, pinky, thumb, pinky, all the same. Yeah. Cobbett of the Shire says, please don't try cooking. I've seen enough to understand why it would be dangerous. Yeah, no kidding. Beard, man, I should have responded to this one earlier. How about going all weekend without coffee and shooting a video at the end? I don't know you, of course, but I'm visualizing a kind of Jack Nicholson Shining scenario. I had a really interesting experience with The Shining. Let me think about the story and see if I can tell it. I once had a job. I think I can tell this as long as everyone's kept anonymous here. I once had a job where I worked at a job, and the offices were upstairs. They were on the second floor of a building. I'm trying to be really, really vague here. So you had to walk up these stairs, this like open staircase, to get to the second floor mezzanine thing, to get to the offices. And it was about Halloween, a little after Halloween. No, wait, maybe a little before. I can't remember. Something to do with Halloween. For some reason, The Shining was playing on a projector, projected on the biggest, openest wall of the mezzanine area. And I was having a terrible time at this job. It was horrible. Literally a third of the staff had walked out in the last month. And there was just this drama every day. It was horrible, and I was planning to go in and quit. But I was still, it was like I had like clawed my way into this job over the course of a year. So I really didn't want to quit, but there were situations. Anyway, so the day I go in and I'm like all conflicted about this, and I've got my resignation letter in my pocket. And the thing that was making me quit was this place was basically like a cult. Like it was horrible. Anyway, I walk up the steps, and like the mezzanine is dark. For some reason, it's dark at 10 o'clock in the morning, which was often when I showed up to the office because I would go do some work, very anonymous work. I would go do that before I came in, and all the lights were off at 10 in the morning when everyone's in their offices. And I walk up, and the projector is playing The Shining, and it's that scene where Jack Nicholson is walking up the stairs with the axe, and so I was walking up the stairs with my briefcase, and I just had this moment where I was like, when you start identifying with Jack Nicholson in The Shining, you should probably quit your job. And no, Beard, I am not going to go without coffee for any length of time. NYC Drum says, didn't you rule out camping? Yeah, and then I waffled, and then I back and forth. You'll see when you watch the sabbatical videos. I think that's all the recent comments. If you want me to respond to your comments, you're probably out of luck because I'm really bad at it. But thank you for leaving comments. And every now and then I will. I try to like love every comment. I hate saying that. But you know, some need responses. So I'm gonna try to be better about that. But I'm gonna fail. So it's me. This is what you get. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.